Aquarius, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique, and I have your energy forecast for October 2021. So Aquarius, it has been a little bit rough, especially with some of the major heavy hitting planets retrograde in your sign for the last 4-5 months. October is going to bring you a fresh energy, a lot of change, and a lot of opportunities to actually spread your wings and fly away. Starting on October 6th, the new moon in Libra is going to be highlighting your 9th house. Now, the new moon in Libra wants us to focus on love, wants us to focus on relationships, but also wants us to focus on where we can restore balance, peace, and harmony in our lives by realizing where it is that life has gotten a little bit out of whack and hella extreme. Now, the fact that the new moon in Libra wants to balance things out and wants to make things right, highlighting your 9th house means that there's a lot of truth that you have to really kind of swallow before moving forward. A lot of truth about your relationships, a lot of truth about not listening to your intuition when you should have, not recognizing the red flags when they were right in your face. And because of this, really set you on a brand new path of belief. You have to start listening to your intuition. You have to start listening to your gut. A lot of the things that you're wanting, needing, and desiring right now, especially in relationships, are acting out of pain and trauma bonds instead of your highest vibrational self. This 9th house is trying to prepare you to see new adventures forming, new truth emerging, a new path forward that is going to be best aligned with what it is that your heart and soul actually needs instead of what your ego and your identity actually craves. October 6th, we're going to have Pluto, the great transformer, go direct in Capricorn. This is going to be highlighting your 12th house. This is likely not going to feel so good, but it hasn't felt so good since 2008. Pluto, of course, while retrograde, wanted to illuminate for us our fear, our pain, our trauma, our doubts, our insecurities, and every single situation in the past that we have given our power away to other people. And now, with Pluto going direct, you best believe we are going to be taking our power back. Because Pluto is in this 12th house for you, this is endings, this is soul contracts, this is karma, this is your higher self. This is recognizing where it is that you've been holding on to for far too long, people, places, and things that are never, ever in the same vibration that you needed them to be at. This is a cutting of the cord, if you will. This is a 100% death and destruction to all of the parts of you that vibrate at a lower frequency, attracting people and situations that just mirror back the voids and the pain and the trauma that you've been trying so hard to overcome and so hard to actually resolve. On October 7th, we have Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure and money, moving into Sagittarius. Now, this is going to be a welcome shift for most people because Sagittarian energy is fun, it's lighter, it's fancy-free. We definitely had a very intense, passionate, overwhelming time with Venus in Scorpio. And now we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We are preparing to see a new worth system take over us in our own self-esteem, in our values, especially where other people are concerned. And Venus in Sag just wants to open up our minds, open up our heart space to new opportunities coming in and to really renew our confidence and faith within ourselves. Venus moving into Sag is going to be highlighting the 11th house that Aquarius energy naturally rules over. This is really going to show you where new connections are being made, where new like-minded people are entering into your realm of the right vibration, of the right frequency to support your soul's mission to be 100% authentic in your intuition, in your higher self, instead of staying on these low-level earthly vibrations, attracting people that just suck the life out of you. Venus moving into Sagittarius in this 11th house is going to download you with a brand new mindset, a brand new perspective, brand new ideas and moments of inspiration coming in that are just going to catapult you in a brand new path of adventure to actually start manifesting a reality that is going to love you, going to support you, and going to encourage you to grow. On October 10th, we have Saturn, the Lord of Karma, going direct in Aquarius, of course, highlighting your first house of self. Saturn, being the Lord of Karma, really showing us where tough love life lessons of the past really were supposed to teach us something, and where in the past we failed to step up to bring that knowledge to the forefront, where it is that maybe we failed to implement that knowledge, that wisdom into our current situations. And of course, that's why we had to repeat some pain cycles in order for us to really learn those lessons for once and for good. Saturn moving into Aquarian energy, going direct in this Aquarian energy in your first house means you can come out of the darkness. You can come out of that negative narrative. You can really boss up, take control back, get your mind right, get your focus right, get your energy right, because you have some big opportunities that are about to bless you in some very profound ways, but you can't bring those lower energy vibrational frequencies with you. It's time to drop the package, drop the suitcase, drop the luggage of the emotional pain of the past, and free yourself to be a little bit lighter moving into the future. Jupiter is also going direct in Aquarius on October 18th, also in your first house of self. So here's a couple of things. First of all, Jupiter wants you to grow. He wants you to expand. Of course, some elements, especially some people, had to be cut out of your life. There had to be some detours, some disappointments, some rejection in order for you to realize that you have been choosing beneath yourself. Jupiter needs you to step outside of your comfort zone. He needs you to see the bigger, broader picture. He needs you to be confident. He needs you to be optimistic. He needs you to recognize that the reason why you've been stalled out and receiving some of the rewards of abundance for your pain and struggle is because you have been blocking them. Jupiter going direct, especially in the first house, caution to you, please don't eat your feelings away. We have a tendency when Jupiter is in the first house to pack on a couple of pounds, and of course that's not going to do anything good for your confidence. It's time for you to get back a little bit more disciplined with taking care of yourself. Get out of the emotional drama of what was and what could have been, and start standing in the power of what is and what could be. Also on the 18th, Mercury is going to go direct in Libra in this 9th house. So of course, Mercury being retrograde, you have to revise some things. You had to reflect on some things, especially on all the situations that you ignored your intuition, where you knew you had a gut feeling at the beginning and you ignored those red flags and those signs. And you jumped in all willy-nilly and then actually had the audacity to be surprised when things didn't work out. My goodness, my Aquarian friends, you guys are so connected to the higher realms, yet you always choose to go in the opposite direction and then have to actually be sad that things didn't work out the way that you had wanted. You guys are so powerful, yet refuse to stand in your power. And this is going to be a time where Mercury going direct in Libra, we have to balance the scales, especially in your mental plane. Get that negative narrative Nancy out of your head and start focusing on the positives of all of your experiences. There is a lot of power where you found pain. There is a lot of light where you sat in the darkness. And now it's time for you to swallow that very hard pill of truth and recognize that the things didn't work out in your past because they were never meant to. It is time for you to clean the slate, for you to shake your head, for you to get a brand new energy, positive, optimistic energy of what could be if you just stop looking back and fixating on the past. On October 20th, we have a full moon taking place in Aries. The full moon, of course, wants us to end a cycle, release some energies, close the door on a chapter that we likely tried to begin back in the springtime. Of course, this Aryan energy, very, very fiery. We started to try to bring things to life back in the springtime. We tried to advocate for ourselves. We were going after what it is we wanted, needed, and desired, especially where new experiences were concerned, and we got stalled out. We were not able to manifest certain elements, and that has us hella disappointed. It is time for you to recognize where you were not meant to have those experiences, where you had to let go of fixating on how things were going to work out in order for you to see that everything is divinely scripted for your best interest and your best energy. And now it is time, because this full moon in Aries is illuminating your third house of the mental plane, it's time to get your mind right. It's time to get back in the game. It's time to communicate with a lot more confidence and clarity than what it is that you've currently been sitting in, because of course those lower vibrational frequencies, that chaos, that confusion has had you all up in your headspace and a little bit negative and down on yourself. On October 23rd, Scorpio season begins. Scorpio season typically is a difficult time for many people because we have to really examine our emotions. We have to jump into our mind space, into our psyche, and realize that our pain was absolutely divinely scripted in order to empower us. This is a time where intimacy issues come up, where vulnerabilities come up, especially in relationships. If you're in a relationship that is not built on healthy patterns, on encouragement, on love, on support, you best believe that the lies, the corruption, the betrayal is going to be illuminated in a way that you 100% leave these people, leave these patterns behind. Scorpio season is illuminating your 10th house of your career, of the roles and responsibilities in your career, of your financial situation. Because you have been very caught up in your emotions, in the family home drama of some of the situations that needed to fall apart and fall away from you in order to create a space for new things to actually enter in, you really haven't been that invested in your career. You haven't been focused at all. It is time to put your energy, your time, your energy, your attention, your focus all on your career, bossing up, getting to that level of financial safety and security that you've been craving, really pouring into what it is that you're good at so that you can see the results of your energy and your effort. There is a big wide world out there that needs your talent, needs your skills, needs your expertise. And it's time for you to get a grip over your emotions and over your mental plane and start pouring into the one thing that can provide you with the safety and security to do all of the other things in your life that you have on your to-do list. On October 30th, we have Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, and our desires, moving into Scorpio energy as well. Mars is very powerful here in Scorpio, and this is going to be highlighting your 10th house. This is actually a great energy for you to boss up, for you to be a bit more aggressive in making things happen, especially where your career is concerned. Pour all of that restless, irritated, frustrated energy into something productive where you can actually start seeing the rewards of your energy, time, and efforts come back to you threefold. This particular energy is going to help you boss up and really be a little bit more aggressive, taking action where it's needed in order to level up, not only in the roles and responsibilities and level of authority in your career, but to see the energy really build and manifest in that monetary value that you have been craving. Some of the messages coming in from the universal guides of what it is that you can concentrate on as you move through the month of October. The very first message that they are talking about is recognizing your strength, recognizing the choice of opportunities that you currently have when you step away from the attachments and the disappointments of your past. This is going to be a very, very powerful time for you to follow your heart, to follow what it is that you're passionate about, to be a little bit more aggressive in making things happen and instead of sitting back and letting things happen to you. They're talking about seeing a sudden shift, especially in your career, where you are going to see a lot of room for advancement, not only in your level of knowledge and expertise, but in the level of your income. This is going to be a great thing to validate for you that your talents, your skills, your knowledge, your expertise is 100% needed in the world. And when you stop blocking your blessings, you're going to see that this income, this abundance flows in much more easily. The last thing they want you to focus on and they want you to realize is your relationships. Of course, Libra season is all about relationships, and many of my Aquarian friends have been stripped away of some of their relationships that were not supporting them, that were not aligned with their highest vibration. This, although very disappointing, although very heartbreaking, is something that you guys have got to get over in a very fast way. There are like-minded, vibrational people ready to enter your realm, but you are blocking these people from actually entering. Why? Because the emotional baggage, the emotional attachment to the past situation, to past people, to past scenarios are preventing new energy from actually entering in. It's time to balance the scales between your heart and your head. It's time to recognize where it is that things did not work out because they were not meant to. It is time for you to realize that you have to open up your heart and your head to new possibilities that were way better suited for you, that are ready to come into the realm when you are ready to stop blocking them. So it is going to be a highly transformative month, Aquarius. I hope that these messages act as motivation and as a catalyst for you to get a grip over your heart, over your head, and prepare for a brand new shift. I hope you have a great month. We'll talk to you soon.